Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Slow Customs. And in today's episode is the biggest engine that I have ever made, and it is Titanic the Super Garrett. Now, I finished Titanic maybe about a week ago now. I've been very busy, so I haven't had time to do a video on him. But like I said, he is a Super Garrett, a proposed design for the Bayer Peacock and Company. It's basically two Garretts put together into one. So yeah, it's kind of hard to get this guy in frame. I'm also don't have enough space to actually do this, so that's why I'm holding the camera, so my bad. But anyway, let's get into him. So we'll start with his front part here. This first chassis carries the water tank on the front and the running board. So the running board, or the little footplate here, that is a bit of like Pepsi box or whatever that I cut up, stuck on. The buffer beam is a popsicle stick that I cut down. And then the headlamp is a Lego 1x1 round piece. I use it a lot in a lot of my customs, so yeah. Onto his water tank, it is a Jenga block that has two pieces of cardboard on the side to give it extra like width or whatever, and then glued onto a piece of cardboard there, which acts as the running board. It is raised a bit more on the bottom, like you can see a piece of cardboard there. That's mainly because on his main body I had to fit the turntables, but also because on the design, there was a bit of overhang there at the top, so I just decided to translate that over. Now his paint, obviously it's very, very blue, is supposed to be British Royal Blue. I figured maybe just it looked good on him, and well, it really does. There definitely needed to be at least one Garrett in BR Blue. But anyway, so the line in it is done the same as Sir Nigel Gresley. Pretty simple there. Does have it on the front and on the other side, obviously. But I'll show that here in a bit. The nameplate for Titanic is just a piece of paper stuck out, or cut out and stuck on. So I'll get into kind of like his backstory and like his name here in a minute. I'll do that like at the end. So the top of the water tank, that is just simple black. I think it looks good. So moving back, this overhang goes over the second chassis, which carries the turntable piece for the boiler, and it is connected together by a little piece of string down there. So yeah. On the overhang, there is a paper clip that is just stuck into the cardboard to act as like handrails. So yeah. Also, sorry if my voice is kind of quiet. I'm doing this on my bed and I'm kind of far away from the camera. So my bad. Anyway, I'll just move him here so he doesn't tip over, because this thing is like really big. So hold on. He apparently does not want to stay, so we're gonna figure this out. There we go. Now he's level. So anyway, now on his main body here. The footplate is the same piece of cardboard that I used all throughout, and originally I was gonna make it like Mammoth, where it was just one giant piece all the way through. And I realized that wouldn't go around corners. So I decided just to cut it down and like an actual Garrett. So now it does spin on the front bogie there, and then on the back one will too. But anyway, his face came from a 2022, I believe, Henry face. See if I can get the focus on it. If not, it's kind of annoying. But what I did was I painted over the original Henry, and then just kind of straightened out his eyes, gave him thicker eyebrows, and like a little chin mark in there to represent kind of like a big chin. Something like Hank has, basically. Yeah, it's really annoying that you really can't see it, but I don't know why my camera isn't focusing. Oh, there we go. So yeah, that's what it looks like. So yeah. Also, the water cap up there, that is from a Wooden Railway Salty. There's a second one on the back water tank, so yeah. Anyway, the boiler is the same dowel or broomstick that I used for Booster. So I don't have much of it left anymore after Titanic, so yeah. I just figured I'd use the same broomstick because I wanted this thing to be big, like actually feel big, so the boiler needed to be pretty big as well. So yeah, anyway, so that's got the lining going around the entirety of it, with the dome being a Lego 1x1 rounds piece, just like the headlamp up here. And then this little part here being a stud, like an actual stud from a Lego brick. So yeah. And his funnel too, that's actually Booster's funnel. Since Booster technically is not a steam engine, I kind of took his funnel and gave it to Titanic. So yeah, anyway. Moving back, the firebox, that is a bit of masking tape wrapped around it to give it that kind of like arch thing, I guess. I don't know, it goes into the footplate with hot glue on the sides to cover up the gap. So yeah. Down here, I believe, is his bunker? Or no, his like part of his firebox. I'm not 100% sure. But that's just a 2x4 Lego brick with another one behind it stuck onto the bottom. And then this little part here, I think it's a support. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just another toothpick. Or sorry, a popsicle stick. So, yeah. Now, going to his cab. I believe that is a cab taken off of a off-brand Daylight engine, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But that was glued onto, I think, the boiler first, and then it was glued onto the running board. So that's kind of how that went together. The bunker here, it's actually made up of a Gordon tender. What I did was I took the blockier part off right at the curve of the tender, flipped that upside down, and then added cardboard onto the bottom to give it some height. I really like how it came out, actually. I think it's, like, perfect. It is a little sharp, but oh well. The coal, too, that's technically not supposed to be that spread out. It's supposed to be kind of like a narrower strip at the top. I don't know. It's supposed to look like the IVAT tenders. So, yeah. Anyway. The lining is also the same. The number 8000 is a piece of paper cut out, stuck in between the lining there, pretty simple. I'll get to the reason for that here in a minute. Moving to the final part of the chassis, it is another larger water tank. I'm now just realizing that the print got messed up on there. Damn, that sucks. Anyway, as much as that sucks, it still looks pretty good. So the running board, again, was cut off of the original and was basically just the same as the front. The water tank was made to be bigger, not only because I figured it would need more, but because I wanted to fit Bayer, Peacock, and Co. Limited on the back of it. So, yeah, it fit, like, really nice. So the line-in, pretty much the same thing as the front. With the salty radiator thing at the top, pretty simple. And again, it does move. It's connected by a rope there. There's the same overhang, same kind of buffer construction, and footplate there. So with the headlamp or the tail lamp. So yeah, I'm really proud of how this thing turns out. It is over a foot long. It's kind of hard to get it all in frame without the camera bugging out, I guess. But yeah, so like I said, a little bit of backstory on this guy. In my canon, He is the longest engine ever built in the world, at least up to date. And he was built as kind of like a send-off for Bayer Peacock, because he was the last locomotive built by Bayer Peacock before they went out of business. That's why he's given the number 8,000, if you can probably not see it. But that's why he's given the 8,000 and the Bayer Peacock Limited. He's supposed to mark the end of a really, really popular company, and especially being one of the engines that they were really renowned for. So his name Titanic actually comes from the actual Titanic, the ship version, because when he was completed, it ended up being the 50th anniversary of the Titanic's sinking. So they decided to name this monumentous engine after the monumentous ship. In reality, a viewer of mine, Tank Engine Media, came up with the name Titanic, so yeah. But in my canon, he was named after the ship. So yeah. And since he is painted in royal blue, he never really took freight trains as he was supposed to. But he now ran tour trains, and I don't really know where he would be nowadays, but yeah, that's why he's painted in the BR blue, just to show like how grand of an engine he is. So yeah. So yeah, that's my backstory for Titanic. I really like this guy. I think I might try and show you the other side. It's pretty much the same thing, only the cab, windows, and doors might be different. But yeah, he does rotate at the back too. So he does actually look realistic on the curves. So maybe I'll be able to spin him around. I'm trying not to break the track. It really sucks because I probably have so much space, but I'm not using it. But anyway, so here's his other side. I do think this side is a little bit better, at least for the lining. So yeah. Anyway, so that's the other side of the Titanic. So yeah. I'm really proud of how this guy turned out. Definitely one of my favorites, as it is a Garrett. And yeah. So yeah, that will be Titanic the Super Garrett. Sorry if camera work is pretty shoddy in this one. I just forgot to grab my set and tripod, so I forgot everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I do have more planned. I know I have at least 2 more customs. And then a audio story that should be coming out sometime this week, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.